Before you buy the 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover, this review will include my experience, thoughts, and everything else that you need to know before you decide if this high-tech biometric tracking, temperature adjusting mattress cover is the perfect fit for you. And we're starting right now. My name is Colin Jenkins with Connect the Watts, where we review, make guides, and keep you up to date on all of the latest connected fitness tech. And regardless of what you may initially think, the 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover is as much of a connected fitness product as a Peloton bike or a Nordic Track treadmill. Except instead of trying to improve your fitness and health through aerobic training, 8 Sleep is focused on improving the most important aspect of your recovery, your sleep quality. And it does this in some very interesting ways. But first, let me explain what the 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover actually is. The 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover is a mattress cover that fits onto any 10 to 16 inch depth mattress. Its perfect fit encasement it comes with makes it really easy to install and allows it to fit snugly on the mattress without shifting when you get in or out of the bed. Setting this up was super simple, and I was able to get it done myself fairly easily. It takes a little over an hour once you put the water in for 8 Sleep to fully insert the water and suck out any remaining air, and it'll make a fair amount of noise while it does this, so I do suggest setting up your 8 Sleep cover at least a few hours before you plan on going to sleep. Once it's set up, it still does make a little bit of noise, and I actually like the soft noise it makes, and it's a lot less intrusive than any fan or other cooling device that I've tried in the past. The 8 Sleep cover connects to a smart hub, which then connects to your app on your phone and uses hydro engines to cool or heat up your mattress to whatever temperature you desire, from as low as 55 degrees to as high as 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And 8 Sleep is designed so that both sides of the bed can be at completely different temperatures. And there are a lot of other cool features as well, but I want to spend a moment to talk about this temperature adjustment just because for me, it was the biggest selling point for the 8 Sleep cover, as I'm betting it is for a lot of other people out there. As somebody who likes to work out a lot, my body does give off a lot of heat, and at night with our room, we don't get very much cross breeze. It can get really hot in there. So the first night that I was able to use the 8 Sleep cover, it put a big smile on my face because it feels really good on a hot night to jump into a bed that is nice and cold. And as I said, the bed can also heat up quite a bit as well. And while I haven't really tested it on a cold night here yet, because it's been really warm the past few months, I do look forward to the winter when it's freezing, I can just jump into a nice warm bed. But I do need to mention that the 55 to 110 temperature range isn't always realistic. Because first off, you probably want to put a thin mattress cover and sheet over the 8 Sleep cover, so that's going to decrease a little bit of how cold or hot you will feel. But second, I believe how cold or hot the 8 Sleep cover can get is going to be dependent on how warm it is in your room. Because on a warm night, the cover definitely does not get down to 55 degrees. And it shows this on the app. And while this doesn't change how I feel about the 8 Sleep cover, because it definitely still gets cold enough for me to feel refreshed, I do want to make sure that anybody that's considering buying the 8 Sleep cover has realistic expectations when making the purchase. And while the personal temperature adjustment is one of the biggest selling points of the 8 Sleep cover, it's not the only feature that it has. First is the temperature profile. See, you don't just set the temperature to stay the same for the whole night. When you're going to sleep, you'll want the temperature being something that makes you feel super comfortable so that you can sleep more quickly. Then you may even want to drop it a little bit lower to help optimize for deep sleep, which is aided by a cooler temperature. Then as you get into the second half of the night, you'll want to have that temperature return a bit more neutral to help aid REM sleep. And finally, you can have the temperature change to whatever you would like to wake up with, which for me, I personally like to wake up with it a little bit warmer. Otherwise, you could have it get really cold right before you wake up, like a psycho. And if you're not sure what's the ideal temperature to set for yourself, that's where the 8 Sleep tech gets really cool. See, the 8 Sleep cover doesn't just cool and heat. It also has a ton of biometric sensors, which can measure and track how long it takes you to fall asleep, how long you spend in each sleep phase, how many times you toss and turn each night, what your resting heart rate is throughout the night, your respiration rate, and your HRV or heart rate variability, which I'll discuss in a minute. And it uses all of this data with Smart Sleep to test and evaluate different temperatures at different types of the night to help learn which temperatures at which times will get you the best sleep possible. You can adjust the Smart Sleep Autopilot to be automatic, so it makes these adjustments automatically for you, or you can choose to have it on manual, where it will send you recommendations that you can choose to approve or not. So the more that you use the 8 Sleep cover, the more it learns about you and the better your sleep gets. And all of this sleep tracking data is available for you to look at so you can see if your sleep is improving or if you're tossing and turning less over time, if you're falling to sleep faster, and also your HRV. So let's talk about HRV, because if you're into fitness, this is a really cool measurement. See, HRV, or heart rate variability, is a measurement of how much variability you have between each heartbeat. And while everybody will have a different normal range of what their HRV is, you can really help your training and prevent injuries by paying attention to it. Study after study for years has shown that HRV is a really useful measurement to track and to help make decisions around your training, and has shown over and over again to decrease injuries and improve your performance. See, the more fatigued your body is, whether it's recovering from a hard series of workouts, or if you might be catching a little bit of a cold or something and your body's fighting it off, you'll tend to see that your heart rate variability becomes lower, meaning your score will be lower. And so you can use that data to maybe say, hey, today should be a bit more of a recovery day. Whereas otherwise, if your HRV score is really high, it might mean that your body is ready to go and you might decide to skip out on a rest day to train a little bit harder. I know personally, I've been tracking HRV data for almost a decade. And back in the day, I would just have to wake up, immediately put a heart rate strap on, and just sit still for a few minutes while my phone would pick up my HRV score. And now with this mattress, it just makes things so simple. I wake up, I open the app, and I can see what my HRV score was for the day, as well as the week and the month. Also, with the 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover, you can set your sleep and wake times for each day. Setting your sleep time allows it to prepare the bed for your ideal temperature, as it can take a little bit of time to adjust. And you can set up your wake up time so it knows when to adjust the temperature, as well as an optional vibrating alarm. I'll admit, the vibrating alarm is pretty cool, but I also kind of hate it. The reasons I don't like it too much is because it takes a while to turn off. It's a little bit clunky, but also the alarm on both sides of the bed, you definitely will feel it no matter which side of the bed the alarm is going on. And I know this personally because my wife likes to wake up at 4 in the morning. Finally, the app does come with some extra tools like meditations, guided breathing routines, and various noises for those that use them to help fall asleep. 8 Sleep does come in a few options. It comes as a cover, which is what I went with, or you can choose to get the full mattress version. The mattress is supposed to work alongside the cover to provide even a bit more cooling, but from what I've heard, it's a fairly firm mattress. Now, I like a fairly soft mattress, so the cover makes sense for me, but I have heard good reports from those who like a firm mattress. Final thoughts on the 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover is that it is one of the best investments that I've made on my fitness and health this year. Sleep is so undervalued in terms of how it affects your mood, health, fitness, and really everything. And personally, I have a little bit of trouble sleeping because I just don't want to go to bed because I have so many things that I want to do. But the Pod Pro cover makes going to bed a little earlier more attractive because of how good it feels to be in that cool environment. And I know the cost can seem like a big investment, but considering what we know about how much sleep can affect our lives, I think it is definitely worth it. And personally for me, I don't think I will ever go back to a bed without it. I could not recommend the 8 Sleep Pod Pro cover any higher, as it is my favorite fitness investment I've made this year. And if you want to purchase or just learn more about 8 Sleep, I've put a link to their website in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, please press that like button as it helps us a lot. Have a great day and have a better sleep.